Greg, back when you were at the first Pride in '85, were you thinking 20 years from now everything is going to be better than it was today and fixed in a way, or what were you thinking?
I wasn't that hopeful, no. There were no books in the library or other resources even that you could tap into that would really assist you in going through that process of coming out. It was a very painful thing to do, and you had to do it very deliberately because it was such a different world.
Well, a lot has changed, but today we are still at a place where a major station here in Louisville will hire out LGBTQ anchors and staff. So we sat down with some of our own co-workers here to hear their stories.
There is nothing wrong with you, even though there are plenty of people who will tell you otherwise. Just know that we are out there and you are not alone. Hi, my name is Joseph Garcia. I'm gay and I am a digital content producer here at WHAS.
I'm Alyssa Newton. I identify as bi, and I am a photojournalist here.
My name is Grace Graves. I am a lesbian, and I am a producer here at WHAS.
I'm Tom Lally, I'm gay, and I'm a reporter and anchor here at WHAS11. When I first started in news, well, not even first started in news, when I took Journalism 1001, the introduction to journalism class at my school, we didn't talk about queer representation, gay people in the news. I didn't think it was a thing. I wasn't sure if I could be out in that way. Later on, I was studying in Minneapolis, and I started to notice anchors and reporters at one of the local stations completely and authentically themselves. And it threw me through a loop. I was very confused, very impressed, very excited, but I wanted to learn more. I ended up interning for that station, meeting these people that I looked at as these icons, this like taking up a space that I didn't think existed. And that's what showed me how important it is to be out and be yourself and be that representation, to show people it's possible to be happy who you are and in the place that you want to be.
It was scary. It was relieving. It's something that I've always wanted to be able to tell people, but growing up in the Deep South, in a very, just very conservative area, I have wonderful parents, wonderful family, but it's something that I always struggled with, because growing up, if somebody identified as bi, people thought, well, why can't you make up your mind? And that always really hurt my heart, because I always knew that I just loved people for who they were. I loved guys and I loved girls, and I had friends that I was really close with and that were able to be open and enjoy kind of being completely who they were, and I never felt like I could really do that just yet. So it wasn't until my early 20s that I really started figuring that out about myself and kind of being okay with it, and I'm really haven't started being an open as bi until I came here. Honestly.
So in college is when I met a girl and she was great. And I was like, I can't hide this anymore. That kind of like what happened was a good friend of mine introduced me to this girl, and she was like out, and she was just so unapologetically herself. And I was like, oh wow, I can't hide this anymore. And I remember like the first person I told, it was one of my best friends. We were like at this dinner, and it was this complete moment of like, that's amazing. Like, that's who you are. I'm so happy for you. I mean, she knew, but like she pretended like she didn't. And then it was just kind of like this slow process of like, just like, telling everyone in my life. And I just have been really lucky. I've only had positive responses from like friends and family.
I think it's important to have representation, not just on screen so people can see that like we are out there and we are doing the work, but also behind the scenes, because it's important to have our voices a part of those conversations when decisions are being made. Because before that probably wasn't really there. We weren't able to be in those spaces, or at least to be able to openly talk about like our identities or our communities. So I think it's super important to have representation there to help make those decisions and be the voice for our communities.